position. Back and neck straight. Sit up on your mats with the back and neck straight. And once you have settled, gently close and start observing your breath. Keep the body as stable as possible and the mind fully focused on the breathing. And when you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath. Relax the mind as much as possible as you deepen the breathing. And when you feel ready, you can start adding the practice of attention. So after you inhale, just hold the breath for 2 seconds and then go into the process of exhalation. So just taking a small pause in between the inhalation and the exhalation. Preparing yourself for the chanting of Om, followed by the Shanti mantra. Inhale deeply for Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niradharaः sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just observe the vibrations. Join the palms together in front of the chest and rub the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palms. Open up the eyes. Come back to the smile. And namaste to everyone. Let us begin the pranayam class. So, yeah. So today we are going to go a little bit deeper into the concept of mudras, right? And then we will go for some breath work once again. So yesterday we talked of mudras and how they channel back the energy that the body is losing, right? And it's a concept which is very similar to electricity, right? So when there is electricity, right? So we have different, we have created different ways to channel that energy for the use, we need it for, right? In that same way, one thing is that you are making sure that the electricity is coming. So, right, that you're not losing out on electricity. So you join certain points in the body, right? And this redirection, is actually, the prana, when it is redirected in that way, then the prana, serves some purpose. Like, with the same electricity, I could either up, a heater laptop. In the same way, forming a certain thing is going to happen in the body, right? On a lot of layers, right? Not just the body, on the certain energy channels also. You will see how your mind comes more under control when you practice mudras, right? So when you complete the circuit, right? So basically two wires are right now broken, and there is no point of bypassing the electricity, because any which way, wherever the electricity is supposed to reach, the circuit is broken, right? So first you join the circuit back, and then it gets redirected towards the purpose, right? So when we do mudras, we are somewhere doing the same. Mudras are a great technique for you to go into the practice of pratyahar or withdrawal of senses, right? Like the 𝐸𝐵𝐻 Mudra, when we did Tamari Pranayama, we closed our senses, right? So it directed the prana back, and also it, led to the withdrawal. So the withdrawal part can be achieved through the practice of mudras, right? Let's go into the types of mudras. Yeah, so today we were going to discuss the types of mudras. So there are total 5 types of mudras that we have. So mudras are not just hand gestures. Hand gestures are just a part of mudras, right? Hasta Mudra. First type is Hasta Mudra. HASTA. Hasta literally means hand, right? The hands. Hand mudras are hast mudras, right? So we'll see that when you are doing meditation, you mostly adopt hast mudras. Even during the practice of pranayama, you end up using hast mudras a lot, right? So, when I started the pranayama class, I told you of particular mudras that you can adopt. So, chin mudra, where you join the index finger and the thumb, right? The tips of the index finger and the thumb, and this upwards, right? This is your chin mudra. You place your hands on the knees. Then Gyan mudra, when you reverse the same thing, then you come into the Gyan mudra, right? Then in Hast mudras we also did the one for Nadi Shodhan, right, where we are forming the Pranav mudra. And another one was the Vishnu mudra, where you were keeping your hands on the at the eyebrow center, the first two fingers on the eyebrow center, and then you were alternating between the nostrils for the breath. So these are examples of Hast mudras where you are using the hand, right, in order to connect certain points and form a connection of energy within the body, right? Then next one we come to our your Man mudra, MANA. Right. So man mudras are basically when the eyes, we close basically any mudra that is related to your eyes, mouth, ears, even the nose, right? So like for example, when we direct the gaze towards the nose tip, right? So that mudra, Nasikagra mudra, we call it. It's a drishti, but it's like, comes under mudras only, right? So when we focus the eyes on the tip of the nose, or when we focus the eyes on the eyebrow center, right? Or when we, use the tongue to form particular mudra, like Keychiri Mudra. So in that, you direct the tongue upwards, right? So you keep the tongue inside and you take it back, and then you direct it up, right? So from where the sutra comes out, right? So we direct the tongue upwards in Keychiri Mudra, right? So these mudras that are formed with the help of the eyes, the nose, the mouth, all of these mudras come under the category of head mudras, right? So let me complete the types, then I will ask you if there are any doubts. Oh, I froze.
Yeah, it's better now though.
Can you hear me clearly? Because main concern is that you hear what I'm teaching.
Yeah, it's better now.
It's better. Okay. So I was telling you about the head mudras, where you use the eyes, the ears, the tongue, the lips, all of these parts of your face to form mudras. Like when you focus the gaze on the tip of the nose, or you focus the gaze on the eyebrow center, right? So you are using the eyes. You are using your eyes to direct them somewhere, right? So these mudras come under the category of head mudras, right? Then next one that we have, the third type of mudras, they are your body mudras. So basically posture. Kaya. 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 Kaya is actually, body, right? So posture, when you do certain mudras, like, sometimes you perform a mudra where the, physical posture, basically, when we combine the physical posture with the breathing and concentration, it becomes a mudra, right? So, there is this practice of yoga mudra, right? Vipreet Karni Mudra. One is Vipreet Karni Asana and then one is Vipreet Karni Mudra, right? So mudras like these, they come under your postural mudras where, you are in a posture and then you are adding breathing, you are adding the point of concentration and sometimes you are adding
You can't hear now.
right. So we were at the fourth type, Bandhas. Bandhas. Right. So bandh, when you see the term bandh, it literally means lock, right? Or tighten, hold something, right? And that is exactly what the bandhas do. Whenever you perform bandh, you are actually trying to lock something, right? So you would have seen that, mudras and bandhas are generally talked of together only, and bandhas are actually a part of mudras only. So they are a particular type of mudra where, a lock has been put, right? If you go to Hatha Yogic texts also, you will see mostly in most of them, they are dealt with together only. You will see mudras and bandhas, like one chapter together, and that is named Mudras and Bandhas. So they are generally talked of together only, right? So again, Bandhas and Mudras both can be adopted with each and every practice that you do. In asanas also sometimes you will see that you are required to, perform a particular block, right? And even in pranayam, in advanced practices, both mudras and bandhas are used. Like they are very advanced practices, but they are used, right? So when we talk of blocks, there are three main blocks in the body, right? One is your moolaban. Yeah. All right. So I was talking of blocks. So first, before bandhas are a separate topic, right? So I was telling about the three bandhas, like as a part of mudras only. But when we are mudras with form, along with bandh, right? So when you put the lock as well, right? So one is mool bandh. Mool bandh. MOO, right? The pen lock. Bandhas are actually a separate topic, but three main right. Then we have Udyan Bandh, right? UANA, Udyan Bandh. And then we have Jalandhar pen, DAHA. RA. So these are three the three locks. One is the perineum lock, right? Then second one is the abdominal lock. Udyan means abdomen, right? And then third one is the chin lock, right? So these three locks are, when we adopt these three locks either together or as a part of some mudra, right? So when we like the example of a bandh, when we talk of the types of mudras, is Mahamudra, right? Where you are actually adopting all three locks, right? So one after the other, you adopt all three locks, and the technique of the mudra is performed in this way, where one by one you perform the lock, and then one by one you release the lock, right? So when we are discussing of bandhas in mudras, right? So there are certain body like it's a combination of both mudra and then the locking is also taking place, right? And then your last type of mudra is your Adhar Mudra. ADHARA. Adhar Mudra. This is a perennial, these like this category of mudras, they include mudras which, today in philosophy class, we were talking of brahmacharya, and I was telling you, that energy can be directed in two forms. And one of them is like that it goes down, very simply understood. Like if we want to simply understand, one way is energy can be directed downwards, and second way is when the yogi, works on spiritual practices and the energy is directed upwards, right? So these mudras, Adhar mudras, they, redirect the pran from the lower centers of the body so that they can travel like uh, up, and that energy can be used to progress in the spiritual journey rather than just using that energy for sexual pleasure, right? So these mudras, when you perform these mudras, they will channel the prana from the lower centers to upward direction. They're going to give the prana upward direction, right? So Ashwini Mudra is a very good example of this, right? So all of you will find other mudras as well, you know, uh, and all of these mudras, there is no need to go in detail when it comes to these mudras. Why? Because it's just for your basic understanding that mudras are much more than just the hand gestures, right? That is why I gave you all the categorization. But all of these mudras, as I told you, mudras are separate signs, right? So when you like reach that level, that is when you perform the mudra, uh, that is going to help you. But right now we are in the category where we are ill. First we need to get healthy, right? So after we get healthy, that is when you can go deeply into the practices of such types of mudras, right? Gyan and Chin Mudra, you can form easily, and uh, everybody practices those. But other types of mudras, some of the types, they're not that easy to perform, right? So depending on the level, depending on your practice, then you can go to the deeper study of these mudras, right? So for now, like the categorization, is it clear? Are there any doubts in the categorization?
No.
Okay, great. So now you guys know that mudras are much more than
Can't
just
hear now.
the back and neck straight, keep the eyes closed, start observing your breath. Watching the natural flow of the breathing as you inhale and as you exhale. Just quickly scan through your body and make sure that there is stability, the body is relaxed. We will begin with the practice of abdominal breathing. As you inhale, expand the abdomen. Exhale, contract the abdomen and exhale out all the air from the body.
Recording in progress.
Just continue with the rounds of abdominal breathing, going deeper each and every time. And after 3 more breaths, suspend the practice and just observe the natural flow of the breath. Keep the spine straight and just observe the breathing. We are going to go for the practice of Anulom Vilom next. So prepare yourselves. Left hand on the knee, right hand in either Pranav Mudra or Vishnu Mudra, and exhale completely, close and begin to inhale to the left. Once you have inhaled, gently close the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Begin to inhale through the right nostril, and on completion of the inhalation, close the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. This will make 1 round. Continue your practice, going deeper each and every time. Feeling the impact of Anulom Vilom with each consecutive round. Complete 3 more rounds and then suspend your practice. Back neck remains straight. Just observe the difference in your breath and the state of your mind. And let's prepare for the practice of Ujjayi breathing. We're going to do Uchai Pranayama. Back neck straight. With the next inhalation, begin with Ujjayi breath, where you contract the glottis, contract the throat, and as you inhale, there is a sound that is produced, and with the exhalation, there is a subtle sound that is produced. It's as if you are inhaling and exhaling through the throat. Take 3 more breaths in the Uchai format and then suspend your practice. Back and neck remain straight. If you feel like changing the posture, feel free to do so. Going for the last practice of the day, Tamari Pranayama. Form the Shanmukhi Mudra or plug in your ears, the index finger, or keep the hands gently on your knees as you are comfortable. Once you adopt the posture of the body, begin with the bumblebee breath after inhaling, while exhaling, creating the makar sound, the humming sound. And suspend the practice after 3 more breaths. Just observe the breath, keeping the back and neck straight. Keeping the focus on the third eye or the area between both your eyebrows. Join both the palms together and rub both the palms together. Place them on the eyes. We'll do this 2 more times. Rub both the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. One last time. Rub the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at the palms, open up the eyes. Start coming back. If there are any doubts, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
No doubt in this one. I got a doubt in another one of the pranayamas where like we breathe in and breathe out. What is the name? Is it Brahmari?
Which one are you talking of? Like in which you take the hand position or you just normally inhale and exhale?
Yeah, one of those, like, where you just quickly inhale and quickly exhale, quickly inhale and quickly exhale. So yeah, that one, what's the name of that?
Bhastrika Pranayama.
Yeah, Bhastrika. Yeah, for Bhastrika, I found like somewhere else they do like with hands as well, hands moving up and down. So is it something which is advanced?
No. See, Bhastrika, you will find multiple techniques of Bhastrika Pranayama. This was the variation that was given by Sri Ravi Shankar, who,
Yeah,
started the art of living. Right?
yeah,
So as
yeah.
a part of the meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, in that you do Bhastrika Pranayama in this form. So it's just a
Yeah.
variation of the same practice. He just, uh, introduce some changes in the practice.
Okay. So, all the pranayams we learn. So, which book it relates to?
See, Hatha Pradipika most have taught you from that only, whatever techniques are given. And Hatha Pradipika, I have mostly covered those techniques.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright. So if there are no more doubts, we can end today's session.
And one more question. So, with like normal breathing and then do like a pre-practice, can we do how many pranayams after that is recommended? Like, how many is recommended normally?
No, there is nothing like how many. Depending on your time, you can create a protocol for yourself. Like however much time you or your students might have, you can just create a protocol based on that only. Or you can If you want, you can go very deeply into one pranayama practice. It's totally up to you what your agenda is, and there is no fixed number or minimum maximum. It's totally up to you.
Okay. Is there any pranayama which is good for diabetes?
Kapalbhati is very good. It's a free practice though, but the Kapalbhati is very good for diabetes. These things should have been covered in your therapy classes. No? These will be covered in therapy. So,
Okay,
like
sorry.
anything that is related to the stimulation of the abdomen, basically that is going to have a direct impact. It's going to like even in abdominal breathing, you give that the diaphragm moves down and all the organs in the abdomen are stimulated because of that.
Stimulates.
So yes, every
Okay.
practice which stimulates the abdomen is going to have an impact for a diabetes patient.
Okay. So normally, like, the stimulating the particular area will benefit the kind of organ, isn't it?
Mostly, yes. Yes,
Mostly.
that's
Okay.
going to have. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay. So then let's end today's session. Yeah. So Om Shanti to
Okay.
everyone. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
I will see
Om
all of you
Shanti.
tomorrow for
See you
philosophy.
tomorrow.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.